Here in Washington, D.C., protesters gathered on the National Mall to urge Congress to pass a comprehensive immigration reform. They want an overhaul of the nation's immigration and border control laws by the end of the year. Around 100 people were arrested, including several congressmen, after demonstrators sat down in the street in front of the Capitol. CCTV's Jim Spellman was at the march. He brings us more. Jim?
Mike, the frustration was really palpable in the crowd. So much frustration after years of feeling like their issue, immigration reform, has been pushed to the back burner, so they took to the streets to re-energize their cause. Thousands of protesters came to an otherwise shut down National Mall in Washington Tuesday to push for immigration reform.
It is in keeping with our long history as a nation of immigrants that we want a vote in the House of Representatives on comprehensive immigration reform, and we want it now. This is what democracy looks like.
In June, a comprehensive immigration bill was passed by the democratically controlled Senate, but the Republican-controlled House of Representatives has yet to take up the measure. The main thing that these protesters want from a comprehensive immigration bill is what they call a pathway to citizenship, a way that people here in the United States illegally could eventually become citizens. The political problem is Republicans that oppose them call that amnesty. They say that's a non-starter. For Mario Lopez from El Salvador, life in the U.S. is the only life he has known.
I came here when I was 3 years old, and at this moment I am battling to get my residency as well. I am now 34 years old. It's been a long run for me. I have an 11-year-old daughter, a U.S. citizen. My wife is a U.S. citizen.
But critics of the pathway to citizenship say even though Lopez and other undocumented migrants may work, pay taxes, and follow the law in other respects, they are in the U.S. illegally and shouldn't be rewarded for breaking the law. As a show of solidarity, several Democratic congressmen, including civil rights veterans John Lewis and Charlie Rangel, were arrested in an act of civil disobedience in hopes of urging Congress to pass a comprehensive immigration bill, something Mario Lopez can identify with.
And you always got to fight for your rights, right?
While it may take more than acts of civil disobedience to get congressional change, activists here are fighting to keep reform alive. Clearly, nothing's going to happen on immigration reform or much of anything else until this government shutdown showdown is over. The question, Mike, is will there be so much bad blood between Democrats and Republicans once the government reopens that it may be impossible for anything to get done that the president has on his agenda? Mike?
And Jim, you brought up the shutdown, so the question is, why were these protesters allowed to hold a rally on the mall with the U.S. government shutdown well and underway?
Well, they determined that this was a free speech activity. They allowed it under those grounds. But this will not come as a surprise to you, Mike. Republicans are crying foul, saying the Obama administration allowed this event to go forward because it's an issue that they support. That's Washington right now. Nothing happens right now in Washington without the other side being upset about it.
Jim Spellman live in Washington for us. Thank you.